So the game Eugenics released, and it's been kind of taking the internet by storm. It's by the creator of Binding of Isaac, and people are really enjoying it. People are having a lot of good times, and even I'm having fun playing it. Even though I've legitimately never played a game by the creator beforehand, I never played Binding of Isaac or Super Meat Boy. So the game is good. In an ideal scenario, there'd be absolutely just nothing bad about the game surrounding it. Nothing really being controversial or anything, or nothing really negative about it, other than just like, the humor being maybe about 10 years old. But unfortunately, that's kind of not the case. Now, this like is kind of just an unfortunate circumstance, I'm assuming, of the time. Now, the game has taken about like 12 years to, be fully developed, or at least like so far, because I know the first teaser trailer for the game was 12 years ago, so I'm assuming it's been in production for longer. But because of that, I'm assuming that some of the decisions for the game were made long ago and kind of couldn't be changed. And so I'm specifically talking about like just the cameos in the game. There's apparently like a bunch, like 150 voice actor cameos for the cats in the game. Just people going meow. And like some of them are normal, some of them are fun, and it's like a wide variety of people. You got Markiplier in it, you got the professor. I'm assuming the basketball guy. I think I saw Logic was also listed. Moist Critical's there. Just a bunch of just online people, a bunch of celebrities, a bunch of people all over the internet, just a wide variety of people who would potentially just be asked and say yes to meowing. Now there are unfortunately some tough names. Like one of them is Christian. The thing about Christian is like if you don't know who this person is, I would advise you to avoid knowing any information about Christian in any capacity for the rest of your entire life. You are living in a world of bliss, and you really don't need to know anything about this person. But for those who are more curious, Chris Chan was kind of like an online lolcow. Everyone was just laughing at her. She's been kind of the front of a lot of memes. But about like 5 years ago, she got accused of having sexual relationships with her 79-year-old mother. And now, a lot of people saw, a lot of people saying that like the charges against her were dropped. But the case against Chris Chan wasn't really dropped due to a lack of evidence. It was more because the attorneys in the case filed a motion for an autism disorder deferral disposition, which I'm reading from this news article because I obviously don't know the exact details of the case. And so it's not like she's just completely not culpable of what she's accused of, but more got pushed on later. And so it's like I don't really know when the creator, I think it's Edward McMillan, that's what his name is. I don't know when like he really, or the timeline of when he got all these like voice actor cameos into the game. I'm assuming it was like a working thing, and maybe he signed a bunch of contracts. And so, like, when you have people like this, it's kind of unfortunate that they're in the game because of just the whole entire surrounding controversy. I know Edward McMillan like loves his memes and loves his jokes, and so I'm assuming because when Christian was just the internet locale of just everything like that, that's kind of when like the desire to be put in the game was asked, and because of that, once again, this is assuming, I don't really know the full details. Something made it so that either A, he didn't want to take Christian's mouse out of the game, or B, there's some sort of like contractual issue with like not taking the voice acting out of the game. I don't really know. Like you would probably prefer someone who's not this mired in controversy to be in the game. And another like couple names that were being put around as like unfortunate people that are in the game, like, and kind of bad people, are Ethan and Hila Klein. Now obviously, once again, these are two really famous YouTubers from like 10 years ago, or like 2010s, and they have kind of been more in the limelight because of the fact that of their stance and their hardline stance of defending Israel and just genocide on of genocide of Palestinians. And so because of this, like a lot of people were mad about this too, and I understand why. Like once again, he's actively doing this bad shit. He's actively attacking people and suing people and just being an overall annoying little asshole and sending a bunch of those little like goober mods and fans to attack people on the online on the internet. But at the same time, apparently, Edward McMillan asked, and like, or like he was asked about it, and he was asked about like, all these people online, all these problematic people. And the big thing he said about Ethan Hila Klein being in the game, he's like, I had iDubbbz and Anissa, those two people who were like kind of like on two opposite sides of this issue and like, have been consistently butting heads online, and we're a big deal and a big story, maybe like a year ago. And he said they were both fine with having each other included in the game, so like that was kind of something that it's like obviously Ethan Klein and Hila Klein kind of are like absolute losers, but once again they are just like cats meowing in a game, and so what can you really do about it? What can you really do? And I don't think they're gonna get removed from the game anytime soon because in an interview asking about like the problematic cameos potentially, he did say like who really cares about the political views of someone who's voice acting meowing as a cat. And like that's kind of a fair point. Like obviously you ideally don't want just like shit people voice acting the game, but at the same time they are meowing. and they are just doing absolutely nothing. And I also think another big thing too that kind of makes it like not a doomsday scenario for the game is that I would presume, now I could be wrong, I don't really know the contractual obligations of the deals that they made with voice acting. I do not think that anyone is making royalties or money from the sales of the game other than the creator himself. So it's not like buying the game. You're sending money to Ethan Gila Klein saying good job for meowing and defending the IDF and Israel's genocide of Palestine. I would assume that's not happening. If it is, then that's an entirely different story. But once again, I do not assume it's happening. Unlike another fun little name that came off like of wonky people is Matan Evan. The kid who went up on the Game Award stage like 2022 after like the Game of the Year was announced or something, or an award was announced, and like he kind of just like said, I don't even remember what he said, but like, he just said like a random line, and everyone's just like, who the hell is this kid doing this? Like we don't know what he's doing. So once again, just another like person who maybe he's questionable. And it's like he's kind of just been like orbiting this questionable area for a while now. Obviously, like I don't know how specifically bad he is because I'm not really the biggest Matan Evan fan, but that's kind of what I know him from. And so like I'm assuming just a lot of like the issues with the people in the game and who was included was, well, one, just like the creator Edward McMillan specifically. I know there was another one and I'm forgetting his name, but I'm assuming a lot of these decisions were made by Edward. But anyway, I don't know where the sentence was going. I'm assuming that a lot of the creative decisions like that were just made either just A, because it would be funny and like he just remembered a random person on the internet that he wanted to put in the game, or B, made like a long time ago to the point where it was already like too deep in the development stage to really care about this stuff and like to keep up the date, and also maybe once again contractual issues to change the cats meowing in the game. And that's all it is, though. It is all just cats meowing in the game. So hopefully, nothing really terrible comes out of this. Hopefully, no bigger controversy comes out of it, other than just like kind of shitty people being voice actors in the video game. And one more thing too, I actually want to say is that like I'm not saying like this is an attack on Edward McMillan as like the creator of the game. I'm not saying he's like a terrible person or anything. I'm saying he's kind of like is a memer, and sometimes you meme a little bit too far to the sun, too close to the sun. And it's not like he's an absolutely terrible person. He has gone online like defending gay people and defending like inclusion of gay people in his name. It's the fact that cats can be gay, and there's also like a non-binary cats in the game. Maybe I haven't gotten that far, or maybe the question mark is what non-binary means in the game. I don't really know, but yeah. So like it's not like he's just a right-wing grifter who's just like saying, hey guys, let's play the center right here, and let me just put all these meme funny people in the game, no matter how bad they are, no matter what their beliefs are. And I think he's just kind of like legitimately probably one of the only radical centrists of all time, because like he has said that like having people of both sides of the political spectrum is kind of leveling each other out. And also now, like once again, I just kind of like looked back at the article, just and something that I forgot is also he said like he didn't know Biden was controversial at all. I think honestly just like any of the issues with people that he put in their name was just him thinking something was funny and not doing like excruciatingly high amounts of research into it, or once again doing it too early and then just forgetting about it. But anywho, hopefully this entire meowing controversy does not ruin the entire game, and hopefully it doesn't like slander or put any harm onto the game's reputation, because it is really fun. It is a really enjoyable game. But like it's just unfortunate that there's certain people in the game who are associated with the game. But hey, at least we got Markiplier in the game. So, that's my goat, and he's in the game too. So I don't really know if any of these words that I said have made any sense, or if my conversation was coherent here. But that's really all I got for today. So thank you for watching. Goodbye.